My name is Jay Haxon and I'm 48. I've been all the other ages before then, up to 47 from one. I just keep moving through them all, and I'll be 49 next year. Well, because we were in the band, we thought everyone else was having a magazine about themselves, and then when we come to produce the magazine about ourselves, we didn't really want to write about ourselves anymore because it seemed a bit self-indulgent. So we started to write about everything else apart from ourselves, and that's why it's almost like a work of fiction. It's like a magazine like Bella or Best. So if anyone came up to you with a Tesco carrier and asked if you wanted to buy a fanzine, most people would know what you were trying to sell. But if you try and do that now, which I did a couple of years ago at a gig somewhere, and people they give you a look like you're a beggar. They don't understand what's going on. They don't realise it's a transaction. It makes you look desperate. You feel dirty. I was over there on holiday in New York, and we combined it with the launch of our 26th edition, which was an Americana themed edition, and there was two gay chaps bought it in the shop, the printed matter shop. One of them was called Igor. I thought that was unusual. His friend was called Scott, which is more common, but I've never met an Igor. I suppose our most famous moment was in The Guardian on a Saturday, when we'd just got a new issue out. I think it was number 17, and we'd sold about 6 copies at a gig in London, and that's all. And then the week after, it was in The Guardian, because one of them was sold to Stuart Lee, and the other one was sold. One of the others was sold to Travis Elborough, the author, who just happened to be a reviewer for The Guardian at the time. So it was straight in, you know. And suddenly we had emails upon email of people wanting it.
2 emails.
2 emails. We had free badges and what else have we had? Wallpaper. You know, a starter pack for wallpaper, starting with a piece of wallpaper that big to be put on walls. We gave away wedding confetti, 1 piece. Depends on how you celebrate, really. Sherry mat. That was a success. It's a small circular piece of cork, which was glued to the front cover. My father-in-law found them at the dump, actually, and he found about 400 of them. He thought, what can we do with it? Well, it's obviously a sherry mat, isn't it?
Another free gift we gave was a CD which contained a lot of Clod sound bites, one of which was a song called Let's Talk About Sex. It was a very popular, you may have heard it, I'm sure most people have. I can't remember who it was by. But for our public, Let's Talk About Sex wasn't necessarily the message we wanted to put out. We felt a censored version would be more appropriate.
Come on. Let's talk about baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that make me. Let's talk
Feature Walls by Jonathan Martin. It's a f***ing feature wall, you c***. Only need one roll of paper, don't you tight c***. You go in that house, through that knackered old PVC door, and there it is, like some sort of holy grail box. Lee's wife chose it. He put it up, but it was her that chose it. She's been on at him to do it ever since that first bust up they had. It wasn't even his fault, the stupid sh**. So this is in their front room, on the chimney breast wall, you know, where they've got their TV. That wall, that's what she's calling the feature wall, stupid t***. Fucking wallpaper, round it, calls it a feature wall. Just one wall, her idea, Lee's put it up. Black and white in a big fucking pattern, that puff on BBC One, I don't know his name. Only one wall, mind, that's why she says it's a feature wall. Dominates the front room, says it's cheap, when you think he hasn't got to do the rest of the room, tight. Looks half done to me.
My name is Elliot P. Smoke. I am 47 years old and I do lots of bits and pieces for Clod magazine. I write and contribute to the letters page. Dear Clod magazine, on a bright, sunny and warm day last week, I was putting out the washing in my back garden. The job was nearly done when I realised I had too few pegs for the remaining items of clothing. Is there any advice you could proffer to solve my predicament? What could I have done? As it was, I placed the remaining damp garments in the bin for recycling. Yours sincerely, Bill Chambers. I looked after a contributor called Dr. Leslie for a little while, and she was quite a rum character. She was a bit of a health obsessed. I don't know how old she was. She was getting on. She was 50s, 60s. Big, strong woman. She looked like a haystack in some respects, a well-dressed, tweed-clad haystack. But she thought she was writing for a health magazine. Have you got the old stapler handy, just in case?
I took a photo of the old stapler for
We'll get that
souvenir
out.
purposes. But then I got rid of the stapler, but kept the photo. We're not as young as we used to be, and I think, you know, it will carry on exactly as it is, and possibly until we're dead, but definitely not beyond that.